For Saturday, January 30th, welcome to Morning Message. Last Thursday, I had an interesting experience. For a day or so, my dash in my car was telling me that I had a low battery issue with my fob. That's a fob. That's the thing that opens up the vehicle, and I have to have it in order to turn it on. Fob means frequency operated button. FOB. Frequency operated button. That's what it means. I had to look that up. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know why it was called a key fob. But anyway, my dash was telling me that my battery was low, and so I stopped at a hardware store and opened up my fob, found out what kind of battery it took, went into the hardware store, purchased the battery, and on my way back to the car I stopped and thought I would replace the new battery into the fob, and a little bit of a wind, and it was a cool day, so I said, well, I might as well do this from the comfort of the inside of my car. So there's a lock and there's a key inside of this thing, so I took that key out and opened up the door. But the car detected that the vehicle had been accessed without an operational fob because it actually hadn't put the new battery in yet. And so the alarm started going. Now the alarm for that was going is different than the panic alarm. The panic alarm is something like a car horn every second. Bam, bam, bam. And this emergency siren was the car horn going every half second. Bam, 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 bam. And I'm in a public place. I'm in a parking lot. There's lots of people around. There's even parishioners there watching this, and so I feel like a crowd is gathering. People are kind of watching, probably wondering whether or not they should phone the police because a car is being stolen. I have no idea what's going through their heads. My anxiety goes through the roof. The owner's manual is there in the glove compartment. I can look it up in the glove compartment to try and figure out how to stop this alarm. I was pushing buttons and all those sorts of things. And the dash was a little bit helpful because now the message was saying that to turn off the alarm, all I had to do was start the car. Great. I had the key, but there's no keyhole. There's no ignition place to put the key, or at least none that were obvious. I couldn't find it because it's one of those push button things. So that wasn't very helpful. And I started pushing buttons again, and I decided to just stop. Just stop. The alarm's going off. Nothing I can do about that. Nothing's being helpful. I just need to stop and think for a bit. All right. So what I have to do is put the new battery into the fob and then turn on the engine, and that'll turn off the alarm. Great. The battery is one of those batteries that looks like a coin, like a nickel or something like that. And the packaging is incredibly tough. And so I'm sitting in the car trying to rip this thing open, and it won't rip. I just cut my nails, so I couldn't dig a nail into it. And if you've been watching these videos for a while, you know that I keep my right thumbnail a little bit long to peel oranges, and that wasn't helping. If I'd been thinking quickly enough, I have a jackknife in the center console, underneath chip wrappers and whatever else might end up there. It's down at the bottom there somewhere. There's a knife that could do this, but I didn't even think about that. I eventually took the key, opened up the package, popped the battery into the fob, the frequency operated button and started the car, and the alarm stopped. And people could put away their phones or whatever they were doing to phone the police to get this guy that was trying to steal a car in broad daylight out of a parking lot at a hardware store. So the reason I'm sharing that story with you now is because of all of the emotions and all of the things associated with that incident. Kind of feel like that's where we've been since COVID-19 became a thing. And it's like there's been an alarm going off, and nobody's thought to figure out a way to turn off the alarm. And you know, in a sense, alarms are good things. You don't want to turn them off. You know, they're warning us about something. So there's kind of like an alarm that's been ringing. I'm getting tired of the alarm, but I understand the reason why it's there. And so we need to find ways to be patient with one another, to be patient with ourselves, to be patient with the politicians and the medical health officers and all of those sorts of things that are going on, and people that are really trying to help us, to be patient with all of that. And I know that the vaccines aren't being rolled out as quickly as promised, but I'm sure somehow they will get here in some way and will be able to help us when they do. And in the meantime, all we can do is be patient with one another, be patient with ourselves, with one another, and the medical and political leaders in the world. And it's difficult. But all I mean today is to remind us of how helpful it can be to be patient. There's a quote from Scripture, "They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength." This period of waiting for vaccines is waiting for us to get back to a society in which we can visit one another, hug one another, shake hands, or whatever. It'll come. This isn't forever. Dr. Morrison, the Chief Medical Health Officer here in PEI, keeps reminding us that this isn't forever, that this will come to an end, that most of us will get vaccinations. Anyone who wants one will get one eventually, and that'll be a good thing when it happens. And in the meantime, we need to help one another. Be patient. So that's my message for today. I don't have any recommendations about how to replace a battery in a fob, frequency operated button, other than don't do it in the car. Do it at home. I should have taken the battery home and done it there. But anyway, lesson learned, and created a little bit of commotion and perhaps excitement for the other people in the parking lot. Who knows? So for today, may God continue to bless you.